What's going on, guys? This is Rosewitch, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get better at League play. Now in this video, I hope to cover everything. I'm not sure entirely if I'm going to get everything in this video, but just let me know below if you guys have a question about anything, if I forgot, and I'll gladly make a video about that. Also, guys, I'm going to be putting in timestamps in the description. That way, in case you guys want to skip over something and you just want to go to one specific thing, just look in the description below and you'll see where to go from there. Now, first things first, let's get started. What type of player are you? Are you an AR player, SMG player, sniper player? I feel like they're going to take out Lawbreaker, so I wouldn't suggest getting used to that, just because I don't want to tell you guys to get used to something and they change it and you have to like narrow it down. So if you're going to be a sniper, just be prepared to use your secondary a lot. But you need to find what kind of player you are. So for me, I'm a main AR player. I use the XM4. That's just works for me. I've used SMGs. I'm not nowhere near as good with these SMGs as I am the XM4. So what I suggest is you try a gun, see how you like it. If you're not doing good, if you don't like long range like this, or like mid long range, just go with sub. You know, that's really good for hardpoint control. But yeah, you just want to test out these guns, and then you just find what you like, and then you start doing your attachments. Now you can copy my class if you guys want to try main AR with XM4. I have a video on that. I'm going to put a card up on screen with that right now. So once you find your gun, just pick what secondary you want. I mean, it's really not a hard choice here. I use the Damati, personally, that's just what I like. And then I use stun grenades, Simtex, and trophies. You can pick what you like. Don't pick this, because that might get removed too. Then next up, get your perks. I just run Tactical Mask. If you guys don't want to run Gunfighter, then use Perk Greed, and that way you can pick two. Also, I suggest you guys putting on Ninja. It's probably the best thing in here. Last thing you need is for somebody to be able to hear you running around the map. Once you find what gun you want, just stick to that one. Don't be switching around guns. That's going to get you just not comfortable with it, and you're just not going to be used to it. Also, guys, these are the score streaks I use. I just use these three. They're the easiest for me, and I mean, you get them pretty quick, as long as you just, you know, if you're playing like Hardpoint or Control, you get them fairly easy. So in League play, one of the game modes is called Hardpoint. Now in Hardpoint, it's very important that you know where all of the objectives are. It's really hard when you're in a game and somebody says go to next before it starts showing, because then once it starts showing, then the other team's going to start running anyways. So it's really important that you guys pay attention to this part, and that way you guys can understand where all of the points are on each map. After we do this, we're going to get into anchoring, and so if you watch this, then this will also help you guys understand anchoring better. But when you start out on Hardpoint, the first one's going to be over here in this main little room. It's just like this square around the statue, really. It's just like all around this. I mean, I'm sure if you guys have played Hardpoint, you know. I'm just saying this just in case you haven't. And then after you go from there, you're going to come back up to these steps, and this is where the second hardpoint is, right here. Just all around this. And then the next hardpoint's going to be right over here. It's going to be a line there and a line right there. Next up, the hardpoint's going to be on this little side. This is what we call long over at buses. And then after you're done over here, it's going to rotate all the way back to where it started, which is around the statue. Moving on to our second map, this is Crossroads. Your starting hardpoint is going to be just around this tank area right here. Then it's going to kind of come over here to this little room in this little square down here. And from there, you're going to go into this room right in here, just this bottom part. And then you're going to come into this backyard right here, just in this area right here. Then it just switches back and it just rotates from the tank. So next up, guys, we got Garrison. On Garrison, the hardpoint is just going to be in this little area right here. Then it's going to switch over and come all the way out over the bridge and go down here to this thing. So then it's just going to be in this area right around here. From there, it's going to be a pretty big stretch, and you're going to have to come all the way back in here, which is why knowing this objectives on this map are very important for your anchor on your team. And it's going to end up coming out to right here in this little area. Then from there, it's going to come to under what we call top tank. Some call it floating tank. I call it top tank. And it's going to be in this position, just right around this little area right here. Then it's going to rotate, and it's going to be back in this right in here at the big garage door. And then from here, it's going to rotate all the way back. Not really all the way, but just back to over here. And that's just going to rotate around. So finally, we have raid. Your first objective is going to be right here around this like fountain / statue. Right here, just down in this pit area. Then your second one's going to be in this room, this big room right here. It's not going to go into this room, but it's just going to be in this one. This is going to come down here in this entire garage right here. And then it's going to come over here to the basketball courts, and also it's going to be in this room as well. So like you'll have this whole area as a hard point. And then finally, it's going to be ending down here around this tree in this little garden area, I guess you could call it. and then it's going to come back up here around this, and then it's going to start up the rotation. Now this next part, we're going to talk about anchoring, and I'm just going to stay on this map because I don't feel like I really need to go to every single map to show you how to anchor each one because it's relatively simple enough to know. When you're at this first objective, this goes for all maps, but when you're at the first objective, it's usually in the middle of the map, and so both sides get to it about the same time. But the second objective and so on is going to be a lot different from that. Anchor, pretty much, if you guys don't know what that is, an anchor is your teammate who makes sure that you guys have spawns the entire game. So let's take raid for example. Alright, so we all are spawning and we're going over here. If you're in that backyard way back there, then you already have spawns for this, and you already have spawns for the next. But if you're spawning back here, then you gotta get spawns for next, which is gonna be over in this little room beside money. Here, I'll run over there and show the room. See, it would take you way longer to run from you be spawning over there in garage all the way to get to this room. But if your teammate, the anchor, stays back here and let's say like right back here in this yard, he's just got to sit back here. That's all he has to do, and just make sure nobody else is here, and then you guys will keep spawning here and you'll be right at the room. And that's how it goes. So when it switches to garage, you want to have your anchor move from back here when it's probably like 15-20 seconds, and you want to run all the way across the map and go into the garage and just make sure that you clear out everybody. If you're not having spawns, basically what that really means is two things. One, the game's just not giving you spawns for some reason, or two, more than likely there's a player around here. So if you're an anchor, usually you want to be using an AR. If you use an SMG, that's just really not going to work, honestly. So if you have an anchor back here and let's say you're just not getting spawns, he needs to run around, check in here, check, down basketball, just check in the areas around you just to make sure nobody's just chilling, because usually they'll also have an anchor and he'll be trying to get spawns as well. And that's who's really fighting, is the anchors on both teams. It's a lot harder to take a hill when you have 4 guys, 3 guys from the other team in here, and then all of you wait until last minute to get over here to take it, because then you have to worry about trophy systems. Okay, if there's a trophy system, you cannot nade this, you cannot stun it, you can't do nothing. You can only run through and shoot and just pray you can get them, and that's just a hard push, and that's going to result in a lot of deaths. And then if they're already here and your anchor just doesn't have spawns, you're going to be running all the way from, you see where we're at on the map now, you're going to be running all the way from that yard, which is directly across the map from us right now. That is a very long run. Sometimes you'll spawn over here like at the pool, or maybe you'll spawn by statue, but either way is a very, very long run. So then after it switches from that objective, you're going to come all the way to that basketball court back here, and the anchor is going to do the same thing. All an anchor really has to do is just stay on the certain side of the map that the objective is going to spawn on. So since it's going to be on here next, the anchor wants to go ahead and get back up here where you were before. And this goes for every map. You just have to choose a side pretty much and just get on that side of the map where you know it's going to be. When you have it being in the middle still right here, it can go either way, I guess. Personally, we always have the anchor still over on this side. We try to keep him on this side anyways because this is still the middle of the map technically, and then it's going to go from here to the middle of the map, and so we can't really get spawns to be faster to get to this. Like I said before, it's about the same run distance from the garage to there and that backyard to there. So you want to try to keep your anchor in that backyard anyways, because after that objective's done and this objective, then it switches over to here. So then that way you guys can already have spawns, and that way you don't have to worry about losing them. Now this next part is something that's pretty obvious if you guys go in. If you don't have actual teammates that can communicate or really know what's going on, you're not gonna probably win. I've won maybe like 2 games with randoms, like just where it's just me, not my friends and me and randoms, just me on my own. They don't communicate, they don't know call signs, they argue with the teammates, they shoot teammates. Like, it's a bad deal. Now, I know you're wondering, where can I go and I can get actual good League players? Well, there's a great Discord called the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Discord. There's also a great site called Reddit, and if you guys go on those, you can probably find you some players. And even I have a tab for that on my Discord. So if you guys want, you can go to my Discord, which is in the description, and then just say on the looking for players, say I need a teammate. Also, you guys will make sure you have a good headset. I use a HyperX Cloud Stinger. Also, make sure you guys have a good mic. Now, you don't have to have a $150 mic like I have. You can just use your headset mic just as long as there's no static and they can hear you very clearly enough to be able to play the game. And so finally, I just have to say, don't get cocky. A lot of times I get cocky and then we get our ass kicked because we get turned on and then we pay the price. So then we start losing points and we go further down the ladder in our ranking system. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it. I hope I covered just about everything. If you guys want to know anything, just let me know. Or you guys can message me on Discord and I can tell you. Or I'll probably just make another video if you guys just request it. It's just, this is all I could really think about. Hopefully this helps you get better at League play. I'm probably going to have an aiming tips coming out when I get my new controller. I was going to do it, but then I was like, well, my controller's looking up and left and right. I was like, I can't do this. But I have some aiming tips and how to win your gunfights tips and just videos like that. But anyways, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a like, share this video if it helped, and sub if you're new, and I'll see you guys later.